Shalom, shalom, and welcome. My name is Symmanayah. Today is known as April 22nd, 2014. This is Yasharal, Living Orders and Commands. It is a series of messages that I am compelled to present as I believe the Spirit of Yahushua has so directed me. These words go out to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Creator, the Almighty Father. I am compelled to believe that this is your heart's desire, if this is the intent of your mind, that you will come to discover that He that is Almighty, He that is the Creator, that His name is Yahuwah, and that He chose to manifest Himself, His Word, in the person, in the man Yahushua. He chose to walk among us and demonstrate how we are to engage Him, we who seek to do His will. He demonstrated before us. He sacrificed the earthen vessel He chose to dwell in, thus His Word being manifest in the flesh. He transformed that vessel. He sent His set-apart Spirit in Yahushua's name. There was a sequence of events. There was a plan. There is a plan. And that no man can come unto the Father except by Yahushua Mashiach. Many struggle to understand the dynamics of this. But if your heart's desire, if your mind, if your spirit truly hungers for set apartness, you will come to understand this trueness and what is right, what is indeed set apart by the Almighty One. This segment of Yasharal Living Orders and Commands, it is entitled Endtime Details. Endtime Details. My brothers and sisters, take a moment to consider the task given to Noah from the beginning to the end regarding the building of the ark. To take a moment, ponder, know, pray, seek to envision what processes in detail along with how much time do you think it took Noah to fulfill what was ordered of him by the Almighty Father Yahuwah? Did he have to cut the weeds down to get to the trees, the wood? Did he cut the wood? Did he have to shape it and measure it and form it? How big was the ark? Do you think he built it overnight? I submit to you, there were processes and details and measurements and work that had to be done to fulfill what was ordered of Noah by the Almighty Father in order to gather those who were chosen. What do you think the processes and details resembled regarding Moshe, or Moses, as some may say, when it came to leaving Mitzrayim or Egypt? Given the number of people who left bondage during the time of Moshe or Moses, clearly there were reflections of structured discipline and visible leadership. Do you believe Moses or Noah or any of the most known leaders from the Most High were given orders of such magnitude to fulfill in an instant? Or did they receive details and instructions and directions of what to do, when to do it, and how to do it? Consider all the battles and conflicts that Yasharal faced during the days of old. Did they not receive living instructions of which oftentimes took minutes, days, weeks, maybe even years? My brothers and sisters, when the Most High Father ordered Yasharal to wander in the wilderness for 40 years, there were still details, there were still commands, there were still orders to be followed for the generation that did reach the promised land. Details, my brothers and sisters, just as there were details in days of old, when there were those chosen by the Most High, when there was the presence of His messengers, commonly known as angels, or as He spoke to the prophets and other servants, so will we witness in the coming of days. Scriptures provide a multitude of instructions and endless supply of directions, especially when we recognize them as being made alive by the Spirit of Yahushua. There are many details which have been fulfilled and we will come to know. End times are before us. Where are the teachers, the mores of Yasharal, who are discussing details who are discussing end time details? Where are those who are speaking specifically of what we must and will do in these final days? Why are these discussions hidden, preserved, or ignored and neglected? Where are the instructions from the Spirit of Yahushua regarding end time details? Are we able to discern them? Are they being spoken in secret? Do you believe the Spirit of Yahushua is alive? Do you believe that it is possible to discern the living voice of the Spirit of Yahushua? The voice of the Almighty Father Yahuwah through his set-apart Spirit sent in Yahushua's name. Do you believe that? What are you hearing? What instructions are you receiving? What do you bear witness to regarding end time details for our final preparations? It would be wise to accept that we serve a living Almighty Father Yahuwah, and it is and will continue to be Him who works in us, through us, one towards another, and through His chosen and direct leaders and messengers. Through the Spirit of Yahushua Mashiach, we will witness set-apart instructions, guidance, orders, reproof, discipline. And we who will be among the children of obedience will repent when appropriate. End times are here, and they come with specific details. The time is now to seek to discern who the Spirit of Yahushua is using to bring about end time details, dealing with preparations and improve obedience to His actions. Improve worship and obedience to His actions. My brothers and sisters, do you honestly believe the scriptures will direct us to be mindful of the signs of the times and not order us to seek and discern end time details? Do you really believe we have only the stories of 10 virgins or 10 maidens regarding the oil as an example of what we must seek to do? I submit to you, we are to prepare, we are to grow in discernment and recognize the presence of the Spirit of Yahushua working in us, through us, one towards another, and through His chosen leaders and or His sent messengers. If we truly believe the scriptures and have committed to pursuing a life of set apartness, it would be wise to begin demonstrating actions that reflect individuals seeking to discern and respond to end time details. Do you honestly believe the Most High Father has silenced His teachers, His mores, His shepherds, His leaders, etc. regarding end time details? Is it possible that we are not witnessing many details due to our leaders being void of hearing or either responding to the living voice of the Spirit of Yahushua? Pray, my brothers and sisters. Are you the one who have been given the message to deliver? Are you the one who have been ordered to yield, listen, and confirm what is indeed set apart? Each of us will come to know what must and will be done. We say we serve an Almighty One. We claim to obey His Torah, His instructions. Yes, we echo these sentiments often, but where in our actions are we preparing for our final exodus? Where in our actions are we demonstrating the need to be strengthened and fortified and prepared for martyrdom for Yahushua's name? Where are we demonstrating the need to discern end time details and prepare for the things that are laid before us, for the things that are written regarding Yasharal, true Yasharal? Scriptures mention a time where we will witness signs of His physical return that is soon to come. Scriptures tell of a final exodus as well as martyrdom. If we agree that the end is imminent, where then are our actions of preparedness? I strongly encourage each and every one of us to begin to seek to discern end time details, for soon and very soon we will witness actions that dictate, that demand migration, movement. Pray and watch. Are you confident that you are spending the time given by the Most High Father? That you are using the favor that you are receiving from Him wisely? Who has positioned himself or herself to witness end time details? Or what is projected as end time details? to examine thoroughly in order to assume the position. In other words, what do you believe you're hearing? What do you believe you must do? What are you doing regarding end time details? Believe it or not, we have positioned ourselves, whether we are aware and or admit it or not. Who has begun to discern set apart living orders and commands regarding preparations for our final exodus and or martyrdom? What are you doing to position yourself for end time details? Who are you gathering with to fortify your position when movement begins? Or if you are ordered to stay in place and be a martyr for Yahushua's name? Do you see yourself as being a martyr for Yahushua's name? If so, what are you doing to gain strength to stand for set apartness when your physical life becomes threatened and must be cashed in for Yahushua's sake? In other words, whether I say cashed in or face martyrdom, the actions remain the same. And I don't mean turning away, but standing strong as the Spirit of Yahushua leads. Where are the mores and teachers on this subject? What position have the mores, the teachers, the shepherds, the leaders, the outspoken? What position have they taken regarding end time details? I am not suggesting that anyone become afraid of what man can do, nor the harm that is before us. But I am suggesting that we fear the Most High, that we fear the Almighty Yahuwah. I am suggesting that we begin to pursue and discern the end time details that are going before. Do not just do something for the sake of action. Respond only if you discern it to be the Spirit of the Most High, working in us, through us, or working to you directly. In the name of Yahushua Messiah, our teacher. The time is now to awake, my brothers and sisters. My family, it is time to begin discerning the presence of the Spirit of Yahushua and awaken beyond our current state. Allow me to ask more questions. Do you believe end time details are going forward? Are you, or do you believe you are an active participant in the preparations of end time details? The time is now. I cannot stress the importance of seeking to discern what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. Who among us can unequivocally, undoubtedly, unwaveringly state that they are in a position of growth, that they are moving into maturity with their current fellowship, camp, assembly, or group under the current more teacher or outspoken leader? Do you think by avoiding discussions regarding end time details is playing it safe? I assure you it's not. The face of wickedness and evil comes in unbelief and rebellion, as well as in a do-nothing response. Are you aware that pushing responsibilities off and or making them seem less necessary for the present, this does not make you exempt or anyone exempt from following living orders and commands? My brothers and sisters, the time is now to seek earnestly to discern all instructions from the Spirit of Yahushua, whether they are made directly to us by him, Yahushua, in spirit, or through another brother or sister. The time is now to come away from false teachings and practices. If you are under or in subjection to one who claims to be a more or a teacher of Yahushua Mashiach or the Most High, whether by word or deed, but you disagree with their teachings, the time is now to examine, to ask questions, and to determine whether you are being ordered to come out, to come away from such. Scriptures do not inform us and instruct us to maintain fellowship if there is disagreement, if there is division. The time is now to come out of compromising teachings. Avoid continuing in fellowship by moving. Avoid continuing fellowship, compromising fellowship by just moving into cliques, and then there are different cliques within a fellowship that disagree with the teachings of the more, the shepherd, the leader. This is not wise. True set apartness is not about a democratic process, nor should it reflect the majority rule process in any way, shape, or form. If we believe that we serve an Almighty One, and that it is our goal to pursue the living words of Yahushua Mashiach, if we believe as individuals in the sovereignty of the Most High, then should not our camps take on the shape and the image of a sovereignty with orders, commands, with order, with structure, with love, with discipline? Or are we festering in compromising fellowships? Who has given thought that if we focus on Yahushua Mashiach, on his spirit, though we may leave, it may be temporary, or it may guide us. Yahushua Mashiach, through his spirit, may guide us to those who are of like mind, body, and spirit in terms of our actions, our behaviors, our practices. Soon and very soon, we will be made humble. For end times will prove to bring intense conditions and events that will make us physically, emotionally, spiritually weak, mentally weak. And in our weakness, we who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father will rise up in the strength and power of the Spirit of Yahushua Mashiach, working in us, through us, one towards another, and through his chosen leaders, as well as through his sent messengers, commonly known as angels. Intense times will prove to bring the need to pay close attention to end-time details. I cannot stress enough the importance of seeking, the importance of asking questions, and even more questions. When we look around, we see more people trying to teach, seeking to teach, speaking boldly, but confidently wrong, speaking in wickedness. We should be seeing a flood of questions, seeking to position ourselves into the tasks that are reflective of the end-time details ordered by the Almighty Father, that are reflective to our response to his living orders and commands. Our final exodus is drawing close, O Yasharal. I strongly encourage living discussions, real discussions regarding what is believed to be coming from the Spirit of Yahushua. I strongly encourage each and every brother and sister to begin being mindful of end-time details, for I am compelled to believe that they are going before us by the Spirit of Yahushua. Allow me to read the following. By all means, tell yourself and others what you believe. Tell them. Let us tell one another what we believe the face of discipline from the Most High resembles. What we believe could be the methods the Most High, through his set-apart spirits in Yahushua's name, will use to bring about our refinement, our discipline. What are the characteristics of what is promised regarding our refinement, our discipline, and or reproof when necessary? Who is aware and able to discern the life in Revelation 3:19, which says, as many as I love, I reprove and discipline, so be ardent and repent. Who is able to discern the life in Hebrews 12th chapter, verses 7 through 14? If you endure discipline, the Almighty One is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom a father does not discipline? But if you are without discipline, of which all have become sharers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. Moreover, we indeed had fathers of our flesh disciplining us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much rather be subject to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed discipline us for a few days as seemed best to them, but he does it for our profit, so that we might share his apartness. And indeed, no discipline seemed pleasant at the time, but grievous. But afterwards it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So strengthen the hands which hang down, and the weak knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest the lame be turned aside, but instead to be healed. Pursue peace with all, and pursue apartness, without which no one shall see the Master. My brothers and sisters, know this, all promises will be fulfilled. The Most High made a covenant with Abraham, and he made promises to his children, to us, we who represents the sovereignty of Yahushua Mashiach. Now, brothers and sisters, from love to comfort, to understanding, to strength, to severe discipline, we will face things that are demanded of us regarding end-time details. Soon and very soon, end-time details will be identified. Each of us will realize the requirement for true set-apartness in these final days. As we prepare for martyrdom, or as we find ourselves readying our final hours for sleep, physical sleep and death, or for that final exodus. Where do you stand, O listener, to these words? What is your position regarding end-time details that are expected of you? Are you being fed? Are you receiving preparation instructions from your moray, your teacher, your leader, your shepherd, or someone? Remember, a person is a moray or a teacher if others are listening to him or her, if others are receiving instructions from that person. I have witnessed individuals deny being a moray, but command the attention of a group. Who has heard that actions speak louder than words? If the person is speaking before a group, echoing instructions, teaching, speaking by every action, by every word, this person is a moray, whether they speak contradictions and try to deny it or not. It is not cute or pretty, and it is not humble because a person says, I'm not a moray. If they say I'm not a moray, but yet they command a group, they're the administrator of a chat room or any type of assembly, then their actions speak leadership. Now, whether that leadership is set apart or not remains to be examined, remains to be reviewed by those who listen and those who become aware of such. It is not cute and it is not humble to say you're not something, but yet you command the rules, the actions of a group or assembly or a chat room or a power talk room. Actions speak louder than words. Let us not be deceived. For if one say one thing but do another, then they demonstrate contradictions. Therefore, they are like whitewashed tombs. They demonstrate wickedness. The time is to stand up and be held accountable. If you're going to speak out, then accept that you are indeed a moray. If you are a moray, accept that it comes with responsibility. Accept that judgment begins first at the house of the Almighty Father. And I assure you, it will begin with those who claim to be leading his children. Judgment will prove to come first among the leaders, the morays, the teachers. So my brothers and sisters, do not be walking contradictions. Either be silent and ask questions and learn and speak as the Spirit of Yahushua guides, or assume the label of moray or teacher and assume the responsibility. For whether you acknowledge it or not, you will be held accountable. We will be held accountable. The time is now to demonstrate balance and obedience. We do not have to echo and sing titles before our names, but the titles will come as the people define what they see, as people, as brothers, as sisters, as people define and explain what they witness. If we witness someone commanding a group or the audience of others, then that person is a moray by their actions. Whether they contradict that by saying they are or aren't, they will receive their rewards. We will receive either benefits or consequences to our actions, O Yasharal. If someone is dismissing the words like the words regarding end time details, if someone dismisses the need for end time details by using words like, oh, don't worry about it, I'm not afraid, God's going to take care of me, and words that fuel a do nothing attitude, words that cause us not to develop a sense of urgency, without mentioning the need to seek to discern the Spirit of Yahushua, what Yahushua is saying now, we should consider strongly whether we should remain around such individuals. End times are here. They come with end time details. Prolonged and widespread drought continues. Famine is on the rise. Pestilence and disease are growing like never before. Global warming and climate change is real. Our oceans are dying. The earth has been harmed. The seas, the trees have been harmed. Are you able to discern living orders and commands regarding end time details? What and how much must go before your eyes before you realize that end time details are demanding a response? Are individuals within your fellowship or camp discussing end time details? I may sound redundant, my brothers and sisters. I may sound repetitive. Pray and ask why. Pray and discern whether this is ordered of the Spirit of Yahushua or not. Do you honestly believe it is okay to dismiss the need to prepare? Do you honestly believe, given all that must come to pass, that this is a time to be slothful or just take a position of waiting without seeking to discern what the voice and the presence of the Spirit of Yahushua is saying and doing? I will rest on this subject for now, my brothers and sisters, but I assure you there are living orders and commands going forward of which individuals will acknowledge and obey. There are those who will be overtaken with unbelief. Yes, there will be those led astray. There will be those who in hindsight who will grow to regret disregarding end-time details. What position have you taken, O Yasharal? What position do you take, my brother, my sister, my family? What is the stance on this matter? Soon and very soon, all promises that the Most High made to us will emerge with clarity, with strength, with power, and all set apartness. Our redemption draws near. Awake, my brothers and sisters, and behold the rising presence of the Spirit of Yahushua like never before. Until next time, choose wisely how you manage words of instructions. Seek to discern and respond with all set apartness. Until next time, remember, end-time prophecies demands actions reflective of responding to the Spirit of Yahushua Messiah, yielding to his living orders and commands. Until next time, be encouraged. Our redemption draws close, O Yasharal. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.